Hey, what's going on, you guys? So we are back with another vid, and it's been a fat minute since we've done something like this, but we are here with some gameplay actually, and I'm not gonna lie, fellas, I am so excited to do this. It's been a long time since I've done gameplay on the channel, and I love playing the game obviously, but also being able to share the experiences with you guys is something that I really do enjoy as well, and obviously this is an opportunity to do just that. And we actually have a fun challenge, I would say, to kind of take advantage of and try to beat. So, as you've probably already guessed by the title and thumbnail, we have a specific fight we're going to be doing. But just to give a brief intro as well on that, as you see right in front of you, we have the Supreme Battle Spectacle Tournament of Power Edition Challenge event. And man, is that a mouthful. But this was actually introduced during the Tanabata celebration for JP, and it included a lot of fights. But here we are, we're going to be taking on actually the Go Frieza fight. So we're going to be taking on Goku and Frieza, obviously from the end of the Tournament of Power when they jumped Jiren. And actually that kind of sounds like I'm biased, but I promise I'm not towards Universe 11. I'm not biased towards them. But we're going to be taking on that fight, and we're going to be trying to beat one challenge associated with it, which is to beat it with a team that includes 4 members from the Universe 11 category. So definitely going to be a fun fight, going to be interesting, but I think it's going to be a success for us. Now, let me show you the team we got cooking here. So this is the team I got running here. Obviously, we have Carnival LR Jiren. We also have the Teq LR Jiren, who got his EZA during the Tanabata celebration. For Global, you guys are actually going to be you're going to be getting his EZA very soon, actually. We also have the Physical Dokkan Festival Topo. We have the Int Sub EZA Topo. And then we have 2 other units who happen to fit under Jiren's lead because Teq UI Goku and Super Saiyan Blue Evolved Vegeta are under the Universe Survival Saga category. So this is the team that I'm going to be running. Now, real quick before we get into the fight, I just want to show you guys here real quick. As far as the Universe 11 category is concerned, and I'll probably show the units on the side on my overlay or whatnot, but I mean, as far as Universe 11 as a category is concerned, there are not that many great options. I mean, if we filter out the URs and LRs, right, obviously these are the options that I could actually use, and I know, like, Margarita is not, is that her name? I think Margarita is her name, right? So, she's not obviously Dokkan Awakened, but, like, there are not that many great options for the category. Obviously, AGL Carnival LR Jiren is one of them, so is Dokkan Festival Topo, so is Teq LR Jiren Sub EZA Topo. But also, I guess, like, the 5th option that is, like, really good is the side banner dispo, which actually I did not pull. So, I mean, there's not that many options that you can kind of pick and choose from. Admittedly, I was not actually going to be able to do this fight until about, like, a day or 2 ago when I got lucky and I pulled Topo and then Jiren right after on some singles. So I got really, really lucky there, which is why I'm able to do this fight. But anyways, this is the team we got here. I actually was going to take some other options for the final 2 kind of spots, but I think realistically, Super Saiyan Blue Evolved Vegeta is a great option for his revival, and Teq UI, having his domain, being who he is just a fantastic choice as well. So we're going to do that, and we're also going to be taking another Carnival LR Jiren lead, because obviously that 200% for the Universe 11 category is going to be very important. So let's go ahead, let's stop rambling before we get into the fight. Let's go ahead and get in the fight and see how we can do. But, you know, this fight is, I don't know if I would say it's the hardest fight in the world. It's kind of hard to say, because, I mean, there are some elements that make it difficult. And realistically, like, even with a team like this, which seems almost overpowered, you can still lose. Like, I think it's important to kind of make that point clear, is that we can still lose even with a team like this, just based on, like, bad rotations, bad luck, and things like that. So it'll definitely be an interesting kind of challenge. But there are a couple things that we can do to kind of take advantage of our situation and make things better for our situation, right? So obviously, the one thing which I'm trying to do right now is get Super Saiyan Blue Evolved Vegeta cooking. I need him to get built up. He does build up his stats through the number of attacks he performs, so I want him to do his attacks so he boosts up his stats. On top of that, I want him to take those hits so that he has the opportunity to get his revival up. Obviously, when you get 5 hits on Vegeta, then the next turn that he shows up and every turn onwards from there, whenever he shows up on the field, his revival is up for every unit in that turn alongside him. So having the revival up is going to be very impactful and very helpful. And actually, to kind of give a bit of a segue to that point, I actually was considering taking LR AGL MUI Goku, because obviously he's like the mirror kind of unit to Super Saiyan Blue Evolved Vegeta. Both of them have really great EZAs, and both of them have revives. But MUI has a slight problem on this kind of team if I didn't bring Teq UI Goku, which is the fact that, you know, a couple phases into the fight, the whole kind of dodge kind of system is mitigated, or rather it's nullified against, I believe it's Golden Frieza in 17. So that could be an issue if we don't have Teq UI Goku to protect MUI. So, you know, in that sort of sense, it's kind of important for us really to, how should I describe it? It's important for us to take Teq UI Goku as opposed to taking MUI, because Teq UI, at least, he can activate his domain, he can re-engage, or re-enable dodge, I guess, and then you know, that's I think more important than taking MUI Goku. So we do have one revive right there. Teq UI Goku also, since we're talking about him, he is incredibly impactful on this type of fight in general. Being able to activate his domain, which allows him to re-enable dodge for units who require it. Him just being able to do a lot of damage through his MUI form with the dodging and the counters, and obviously him supporting his allies too. That's something I think needs to get appreciated more, is that through his super attack effects, he can boost his allies as well, and that's actually really, really helpful in a lot of situations. So, I mean, yeah, it's pretty important, I would say. Topo, unfortunately, stuck in slot 1. Not exactly the situation that I would want. I would actually prefer if he was in slot 3 right now, because, you know, then I could keep Jiren on this side. I could put Vegeta in the front there, let him take those hits, get his revival up. But it is what it is. We're going to have to deal with it. Obviously, we're in Phase 2 now. We just started off with Phase 1, which is against, Frieza and then Gohan. That's not too bad, obviously, but now we're starting to get to some of the annoying quirks, right? Obviously, 17 locking our character switching. So that's not, like, the most... I don't know if it's the most toxic mechanic in the world. Let me know in the comments how you guys feel about characters switching, kind of being locked and all that sort of stuff as a mechanic. But it is very annoying, because obviously, rotations are very important in this game, and when you have a unit like this, where it screws up the rotations, it is pretty frustrating. Like, obviously, I have to rotate Vegeta off now, and then I still have to get one more hit on him so that his revival will be up, and it's just it's just annoying and tedious, I guess, at the bare minimum. So, not exactly happy about it, but, I mean, we're gonna have to ball, right? And actually, the good thing is he's tanking the super right there, so maybe that's something that worked out, because he should tank this pretty decently. Yeah, 57. Perfect. Okay, so now, unfortunately, we can't get my Jiren into full power because the standby is up for the other Jiren, and actually Teq Jiren is locked back there, so that does kind of suck, but I think it's okay. I think we'll be fine. And actually, maybe I should have put a sub-EZA Topo in the first slot there because the type advantage, but hopefully we'll be fine. Actually, that's a bit of damage. I was not expecting that. I thought it would be a bit less. To be fair, mine is only a 55% Jiren. Same thing with my Topo, both are 55% copies, so I can't expect much from them. In fact, now that I think about it, I think a lot of my units are 55%. I think Teq LR Jiren has like one dupe in him and stuff, but yeah, a lot of my units are 55%. Even Teq UI Goku is in that same boat. So obviously, the damage output, the defensive capabilities, not as high as they would be if I had dupes in them and if they were rainbow starred and stuff like that. So, I mean, it is what it is. It's not going to be a problem. I think we should be able to handle this pretty easily. And actually, I will say, you know, I mean, Carnival LR Jiren is so important to this whole kind of situation. He is so important. Can we get UI to show up with this thing? No, unfortunately not. We can't get his domain active, which is a bit annoying, but it's not the end of the world. Actually, let me go ahead and get Jiren out to full power, so at the very least, we can kind of get that squared away. And then how am I going to approach this? Jeez, this is going to be awful. Oof. I mean, we're going to have to take away the blue orbs. I guess we don't really have a choice in the matter. Maybe I could take those ones and leave some for Jiren so that he can heal us up just a bit. Nice. I think we got, what was that, like 70 or 80k, which we're taking actually a lot of that damage back here. UI, could you dodge there? I need UI to at least survive for a teensy bit there. But okay. So now I think we're going to be able to get past 17 very soon within this turn. At least I hope so, because I don't know if Topo can tank that. I should have probably awakened him. If I lose this is going to be kind of embarrassing, because I was talking kind of spicy there against Go Frieza, I feel like, or at least in terms of this fight. 9.8 mil from 55% Topo. That's actually not too shabby, especially because I think we have some decent links going. Can we get additional? Oh dear, how much is this going to hurt? Please do not kill. He tanked the normal. Oh god, that's it. Oh no. Okay. It's fine. We're going to go back into it. We should be able to handle it. Let's just, yeah, I mean, it's the same team, so let's go ahead and just get back in the fight, right? But yeah, you could, oh, that's actually a 90% Jiren. Oh wow, we're actually losing out on, actually, was the first Jiren 100%? Now I'm forgetting on that too, wow. But it's okay. I mean, it is what it is. Yeah, I mean, 17, I think with the character switching, that was kind of annoying, for sure. And also, he is boosting his stats, to be fair, with each turn that passes, so, I mean, if we could get things done a bit faster, I'm sure that would have been a lot more advantageous for us. And how is this looking, actually? Let me go ahead and get Jiren, Teq LR Jiren, I should say, in the front there. I don't want to say Jiren and then Jiren, but let me get Teq LR Jiren in the front. He will take the hits and then kind of boost his ki, which will make things a lot easier for him. I won't have to worry about things like that, even though he is taking the super head on. I mean, he should have damage reduction for the first turn, which kind of kicked in there, but yeah, that was some damage. But okay, so I guess I didn't really talk about the fight much. Obviously, we're taking on Frieza and Ultimate Gohan, but, you know, this is going to be a relatively simple kind of stage, obviously not too much, or not stage, but relatively simple phase, obviously not too much health for this unit. But then in the second phase, we saw 17 lock in the character switching. Once we get past that, then we're going to have some interesting challenges, because then we'll face Frieza and 17, and they will actually be able to nullify the evasion, which is obviously going to be a bit annoying. They'll be able to, they'll have a chance to change key spheres and do other things like that. They'll boost their stats with each turn that passes, and then we'll finally get to Go Frieza. And Go Frieza is annoying because if you guys don't know, you know, they reduce damage that's lower than 10 million all the way down to 0 whenever they take a hit. So that can certainly be a bit of a nuisance there. And actually, we are pretty early into this kind of phase, obviously. I was actually expecting us to kind of get to this point maybe a bit later. But, you know, we'll have to kind of deal with it. Obviously, Goku showing up in turn 2. That means that we'll have his domain up, I believe, by turn 6. So, not the worst thing in the world, but we are going to have to be a bit careful. And actually, we'll probably have to have Vegeta's revival up, you know, a lot more kind of urgently in this situation here. Because that's one hit. I think he's taking 4 hits right there. Okay, yeah, so 4 hits. He'll need one more to kind of get his revival up. Excellent, excellent. And then Teq UI, he's just going to do his thing at the end there, do some damage. And actually, I guess while we're kind of letting the fight progress here, since we're kind of going through the same phases, really, I should actually kind of just talk about some other stuff, too. Obviously, it's been about a week or so since my last vid. I actually do apologize for that, guys. I'm not trying to make an excuse or nothing, but needless to say, the days got away from me for like the past week. I just wasn't able to kind of find a good time to sit down and actually make a recording happen, and I know that's kind of on me to kind of figure out that balance, but I do feel like I'm obligated to at least kind of be transparent with you guys in that sense and kind of at least be honest about, you know, what the situation has been like for me in terms of why my like consistency has been kind of all over the place. Obviously, for those who know, like the past month has been me going back and forth celebrating weddings and all that sort of stuff, so like in that sort of standpoint, yeah, I've been kind of busy in terms of like celebrations and all that sort of stuff. But even aside from that, I mean, just going back and forth, kind of settling in, we're doing some work around the house. So all those sorts of stuff, you know, that does kind of make it, I guess, challenging and exhausting trying to like balance all this stuff. So I am working on it, but just to kind of level with you guys and kind of open that door in the sense to like the inner workings of Skynet, I guess. I don't know. That sounds cringe as fuck. But yeah, I mean, I guess that's the proper way to describe it. But yeah, so I'm definitely going to be trying to be a bit more consistent, definitely trying to incorporate some more gameplay, because I do think the gameplay is kind of fun. It's obviously maybe not as applicable for a lot of players. Obviously, a lot of players are doing these fights themselves, and maybe they're already fine with it. They don't really care about that stuff, but I think it's just another way for me to kind of have an avenue to kind of connect with you guys in that sense. Obviously, through gameplay, just like I try to connect with you guys through information of Dokkan and all that sort of stuff. So I'll definitely try to keep going with things like that. Actually, wait, let me check. Does Topo and Topo link? They should, right? Because this one is technically the Universe 11 Joint Forces kind of Topo. So yeah, that's actually working nicely. But I am going to leave Vegeta off to the side here. Or not to the side, but in the second slot so that he can get his revival up. And that actually, since I already talked about what's going on with me, one thing I do want to mention is that I actually intended to make a video on the producer letter that came out about a couple days ago. Unfortunately, again, I wasn't able to do that, but I figured I might as well talk about it right now. But for those who don't know, to kind of kick off the month of August, really, Dokkan put out a producer letter that was kind of focused on the global side of the game, right? But they introduced two kind of main things. Obviously, the one thing is the Teq UI Goku, which is out right now. So they introduced Teq UI Goku being the Dokkan Festival unit between the 9th anniversary and the Worldwide Celebration. And that's kind of an interesting pick. I mean, I love Teq UI Goku. I think he's a fantastic unit. I think he's actually, in some ways, maybe a bit overhated for some. But I think he's awesome, right? I don't know, global players, especially to you guys, right? Let me know in the comments down below, but how do you guys feel about Teq UI Goku coming out right now? Because I think a lot of people were expecting physical Dokkan Festival Topo to come out right now. And Teq UI Goku being who he is, he's such a powerful, such a really good unit. And to have him being after like the cooldown period from the 9th anniversary, but right before the build-up of the Worldwide Celebration it's just like a weird kind of timing, I guess. I mean, I don't know. It's just, it is kind of weird. I mean, I think that's the perfect way to describe it. And actually, as we're kind of going about things here, this is kind of an interesting setup here, going back to the fight here. But, I mean, Teq Jiren should be able to tank that, and then, yeah, the full power Jiren should be able to handle this too. Was that 30 mil? Damn, actually, that's pretty good, especially because he's not linking, I guess, the best in the world, because he would have linked better if I kept him with Jiren. But I didn't know if Teq UI Goku would be the best pick for the first slot there. But okay, Golden Frieza in 17, so we're finally at this phase. Obviously, a lot of things there. We just saw the orb changing right there. But he's also able to nullify evasion, so that will be a bit cumbersome, I think. But I think we should be fine, especially because a team like this, or like this rotation, they do not need to dodge. They will have the damage reduction and things like that to kind of take care of themselves. And actually, let me go ahead and activate Toppo's active there so we can do some damage. And, I don't know, just get cooking a bit more, I would say. And Jiren actually should stay in the first slot. I was thinking if I should keep him there, but yeah, he does need to stay in that first slot, because that way at least he can tank most of those hits and he should be fine. So that's actually perfect for him. And he boosted his defense right there. I forgot with the first hit, so that's really good too. But yeah, so back to the producer letter, right? The Teq UI Goku kind of information was one thing, but the other thing they were showing, by the way, 12.5 mil from Toppo, the other thing that they were showing was talking a lot about the sync between Global and JP as far as our operating schedules, right? And that's obviously the big kind of elephant in the room right now, because, you know, at this point in time, with Teq UI Goku out on Global, Global is still missing Physical Dokkan Festival Toppo. You guys are still missing, whatchamacallit, you're still missing Cellmax. You're missing Carnival LR Jiren, and you're missing Master Roshi. Those are the 4 units, I believe, that you guys are missing right now as far as, like, main headliner units, right? So, I mean, I would definitely say Cellmax and Jiren are so important to have for Global. They're just really awesome, really powerful units, so missing them right now does suck. Toppo, I don't know if I would put him on that same pedestal, and same thing I would say for Roshi. I don't know if I would put them both on that pedestal in the same regard. But, you know, having them all together would be pretty nice, so I don't know. It's kind of an interesting, I guess, it's an interesting kind of situation for, for, why am I blanking? It's an interesting situation for Dokkan to be in, that they still are trying to work out all of the missing kind of units. I guess that's what I was trying to say there. Gosh, I think I was having a memory blank because I was trying to think of what to do with Teq UI Goku at the same time. But yeah, so the sync thing is definitely something that they've been talking about, and for them, you know, the big focus has been like trying to get those units in. They did mention that they're going to try to get these units in basically as soon as possible. I don't know if it's like a hard deadline for them, but they are trying to get these units in relatively as quickly as possible right after the worldwide celebration. And they did say the hard deadline for these units being in the game is going to be by the end of this year, 2024, which is basically like 4 to 5 months now. So, you know, not the greatest amount of time in the world, but they still have plenty of time to kind of work in those units and other banners maybe, or something that we don't know exactly what they're going to do, but they're definitely going to try to figure it out and probably make some weird kind of choices to make it all work. But once it's done, by the 10th anniversary, then it will look pretty, and then it'll be nice, I would say. But until then, it's going to be kind of interesting. They did mention not everything will be synced up. Obviously, you know, Global and JP have certain units with different abilities on both sides of the game. So they're going to keep a lot of that stuff still the same, but they're going to try to keep the campaigns, the new releases, those sorts of things they're going to sync up. So I think that's the main thing that is like important, is to sync up the releases. I feel like that's the whole point of the sync, was to get that to happen. So that's perfectly fine in my opinion. And actually, as we're kind of getting through this fight, we're going to be dealing with the final phase now, which is against Go Frieza. So that's obviously that's going to be a bit of a challenge. Ooh, Jiren is actually going to be able to be full power here. That's actually really perfect because we can see the Scouter. Nice. He should have extra damage reduction for that first turn. And Teq Jiren, he's going to link up. This is a fantastic rotation, actually. I think we may be able to mop the floor with Go Frieza right here. How much damage is this going to do? I'm curious. If this wipes us off the face of the planet, I am going to be incredibly disappointed with Jiren. Let's just see this real quick before I kind of finish off with the thing. 230k, not too bad. 40 mil from my Jiren, I believe that was, which is 55%. That's really good damage. How much is this going to do, actually? 3 health bars worth of Go Frieza's health is gone. So, yeah, that's a lot of damage. But yeah, so the sync is going to be an interesting thing. Obviously, we're going to experience it through the Worldwide Celebration campaign and onward. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know. There's not really much to say because we knew a lot of the information going in. We saw right there the mitigation of damage from Go Frieza. We knew that the sync was going to be happening for some time now. We knew during the Dokkan now that it was pretty much guaranteed that it was going to be during the Worldwide Celebration campaign. So we knew all of this stuff. There's not really much to add to it. I guess the real question that the devs have still not really answered is how exactly are they going to work in these new units. Obviously, Teq UI Goku is just a standalone banner right now. But, you know, the other four, are they going to work them in as far as, like, putting them in, I don't know, like, are they going to put them in one major massive banner altogether? Are they going to go ahead and, let me get the active going here. Are they going to go ahead and put them on other Dokkan Festival banners as, like, additional featured SSRs? How are they going to cook is the question, and I feel like they haven't really figured it out. I think they're kind of trying to force the issue to a certain degree. Why did we dodge that? That would have been awesome boost for Jiren's damage there. Oh, man. But, I mean, that's the friend Jiren. But, yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what they're going to do. And let me know, guys, in the comments down below also, you know, how do you guys like the sync? I mean, or the idea of the sync happening very soon. How do you guys like that? I guess the sync obviously hasn't taken place, but how are you guys liking how they're kind of approaching it? Do you think they've really screwed the pooch? Do you think that it is what it is and they have to just work with what they got? Do you think that it's actually working out just fine? Let me know. Jiren just staring into the hearts and souls of all the Dokkan players right now after wiping Go Frieza. Let me know, guys. Is this how Dragon Ball Super should have ended? Is this how it should have ended with Universe 11 coming on top and Goku and them being erased? Let me know that too. But, man, that was fun. Okay, actually, I think we are going to be getting the tickets, right? So we will be getting the ticket. I think we might as well go ahead and do a bit of a ticket summon here, right? I mean, because that's a guaranteed SSR. Let's go ahead and do that, and then we can go ahead and end the video. But, man, it's fun to do some gameplay again, obviously, and do a fight like that. Goten and Trunks. Okay, let's see here. Actually, I'm not sure what we're gonna be getting here, but I hope it's fire. I hope it's fire. Super Saiyan 3 Goku. I don't really think it matters too much on this. Could this be an LR? It's not gonna be an LR. I wish it was an LR because that's kind of tough. I mean, I'm okay with an SSR at least, but man, that could have been something nice. But okay, I mean, that's going to end the video, obviously. If you guys enjoyed it, of course, hit the like button down below. Also, subscribe so you can see more vids like this in the future. Again, comment down below your thoughts on the sync and Teq UI Goku being out on global and all that sort of stuff. And feel free to check out some of the other vids on my channel. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you all in the next one.